Close your eyes for a moment. Can you hear it? The hum of classic cars cruising down the strip, the rhythm of rock and roll echoing through a summer night, and the laughter of youth chasing dreams under neon lights. American Graffiti wasn't just a movie. It was a time capsule of an era where everything felt possible. But as the years passed, some of the stars who brought that magic to life left us, taking pieces of that golden age with them. Their stories, their struggles, and their legacies remain etched in our memories. Join us as we take a heartfelt journey back to remember the beloved actors of American Graffiti who are no longer with us. Ever wondered what became of Joe Young, the rebellious leader of the Pharaohs in American Graffiti?
Look at it this way. Now you got three choices. One, you chicken out. In that case, I let ants tie you to the car and drag you around a little bit, and you don't want that, right?
Behind the scenes, Bo Hopkins was a Southern charmer who lived a life as colorful as the roles he played. Born William Malden Hopkins in Greenville, South Carolina in 1938, his early years were marked by hardship. Joining the Army at 16, he found his true calling in Hollywood after his service. Known for portraying tough guys with complex souls, Hopkins lit up the screen in classics like The Wild Bunch and, of course, American Graffiti.
It's really not much of a scratch. I don't think it's even...
Ain't the size that's in question here. It's the principle.
Principle. Right.
Oh, jeez, this is gonna be tough.
His career took off in 1969, but life slowed down after his heyday in the 70s. In later years, Bo stepped away from the spotlight, living a quieter life with his wife, Cian. Sadly, on May 28, 2022, after suffering a heart attack, Hopkins passed away at the age of 84. He brought grit and depth to every role, an unforgettable face in America's cinematic landscape. The Pharaohs lost their leader, and Hollywood lost one of its own. What happens when childhood fame fades? When the cameras stop rolling and the spotlight dims? Manuel Padilla Jr. knew that story all too well. Best remembered for his role as Carlos in American Graffiti, he was a familiar face in Hollywood during the 60s and 70s. Before cruising the streets of Modesto on film, Padilla had already captured hearts as Jai in the Tarzan television series, acting alongside big names like Ron Ely and Mike Henry. But fame is fleeting. Though Padilla continued acting into adulthood, appearing in notable films like The Great White Hope, A Man Called Horse, and even Scarface, his star gradually faded. On January 29, 2008, shortly after making a public appearance at the Grand National Roadster Show, Manuel Padilla Jr. passed away in Pomona, California, at the age of 52. The cause was colon cancer, a quiet end for a once promising star. He was a young face of Hollywood's golden years, now a poignant memory of a bygone era. How much heartache can one soul endure before it breaks? Deborah Lee Scott, known for her role as Falfa's girlfriend in American Graffiti, brought laughter and warmth to every project she touched, from sitcoms like Welcome Back, Cotter to Mary Hartman, and even the Police Academy films. She was the life of the party on screen. But behind the smiles, Deborah Lee's life was shadowed by tragedy. In 2001, her fiancé, John Dennis Levi, a Port Authority police officer, died in the 9/11 attacks. The grief weighed heavily on her, leading to a struggle with alcohol. Friends say she was never the same. In March 2005, shortly after moving to Florida, Deborah Lee fell into a coma, recovered briefly but passed away in her sleep on April 5th at just 52. While some believed it was heartbreak, reports suggest cirrhosis of the liver was the likely cause. She made us laugh, but her own heart carried a sorrow too deep. In the end, Deborah Lee Scott's story reminds us that sometimes the brightest stars burn out too soon. What if the girl in the T-bird was fighting battles no one could see? In American Graffiti, Suzanne Summers made a fleeting yet unforgettable impression as the mysterious blonde in the T-bird. But Suzanne's life was far more than a glimpse on screen. She became a household name as Chrissy Snow on Three's Company, bringing laughter to millions, and later, controversy as she fought for equal pay.
I say to John and Joyce at the end of the season before, my contract's up, I'm going to ask for big money and a piece of the back end, and if you two back me up because we have favored nations, we'll all get it. So I'll be the patsy.
Behind the scenes, Summers battled breast cancer for over 2 decades, combining conventional and alternative treatments. She reinvented herself as a wellness guru and best-selling author, defying expectations at every turn. On October 15, 2023, just shy of her 77th birthday, Suzanne passed away peacefully, surrounded by family. She was more than an actress, an advocate, a fighter, and a symbol of resilience. The girl in the T-bird is gone, but her indomitable spirit cruises on. What happens when the girl next door becomes an icon, only to leave the world too soon? Cindy Williams, who played the endearing Lori in American Graffiti, embodied the spirit of youthful dreams and first loves. But it was her role as Shirley Feeney in Laverne and Shirley that made her a television legend, charming audiences with her wit, warmth, and comedic brilliance.
Stop it, it's for his own good. And besides, when the time comes, I'll handle Carmine.
From humble beginnings as a waitress to starring in critically acclaimed films like The Conversation, Cindy's journey was one of perseverance. Her sudden departure from Laverne and Shirley due to pregnancy showcased her dedication to family above fame. Off-screen, Cindy was known for her kindness and down-to-earth nature. She wasn't just an actress. She was a symbol of an era when dreams seemed just a drive away. On January 25, 2023, Cindy passed away at 75 after a battle with cancer, leaving Hollywood mourning a star who shined with sincerity and joy. Ron Howard, her American Graffiti co-star, remembered her as highly intelligent, very funny, and astute about the world around her. Cindy Williams, America's sweetheart, whose laughter still echoes in the hearts of fans. Ever spot a familiar face in a movie and wonder about the story behind it? Albandian, known to American Graffiti fans as the friendly florist,
Good luck.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
It was nice to meet you.
Right, what he said goes for me too.
wasn't your typical Hollywood star. Born in San Francisco in 1922, Al wasn't chasing fame. He was a beloved florist running his family's iconic flower stand at the corner of Stockton and Geary for an incredible 66 years. Yet his charismatic presence and love for his hometown led to small but memorable appearances in films, including American Graffiti. Al represented a rare breed, a man who lived simply, loved deeply, and found his way onto the silver screen without ever leaving his roots. His daughter Louise described him as a part of the folklore of the old city, saying he was plugged into the energy and pulse of the city. On April 29, 2017, at the age of 94, Albandian passed away, leaving behind a San Francisco legacy built with petals and quiet charm. Not all stars burn brightly in Hollywood's sky. Some shine just as warmly in the hearts of their communities, and Albandian was one of them. Have you ever heard a voice so captivating it seemed destined for the big screen? Scott Beachch had one of those voices, rich, warm, and unmistakable. In American Graffiti, he played Mr. Gordon, the high school teacher, but his influence stretched far beyond that small role. Beachch was a celebrated radio commentator in San Francisco, a voice that resonated with listeners for years. His passion for storytelling also brought him to Hollywood, where he appeared in films like Star Wars, The Right Stuff, and Stand By Me, lending his talents to both on-screen and voice roles. Known for his sharp wit and commanding presence, Scott was more than just an actor. He was a cultural fixture in the Bay Area. He co-founded the improv troupe The Committee and was a beloved performer at Renaissance pleasure fairs. On February 13, 1996, just a month after turning 65, Scott Beachch passed away, leaving behind a legacy of words, wisdom, and that unforgettable voice. His face may have been familiar, but his voice was truly legendary. The streets of Modesto may have quieted, but the memories of American Graffiti and its stars continue to cruise through our hearts. The voices we lost still echo in every line delivered, every song played, and every moment that movie gave us. As we say goodbye to these icons, we remember the laughter, the dreams, and the bittersweet reminder that time moves on. But great stories never fade. Which actor's performance touched you the most? Share your memories in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more nostalgic journeys. After all, where were you in '62? Let's keep their legacy alive, together.